This slideshow shows how 3 key insights can radically change your approach to innovation right across your organization.
This approach to advanced innovation comes from cross-fertilizing ideas from 2 very different organizations. Pira, which has huge experience of practical product innovation, having produced hundreds of new products through very innovative processes over the years, and Informal Networks, which more recently has been leading the way in looking at new ways to make change work in organizations and to enable organizations to create new ideas across organizational boundaries. We set ourselves pretty high standards when we approach the topic of enhanced innovation. We were not looking just to improve marginally on current best practice or to expand it across different types of organizations. We were really looking to make a significant breakthrough. And we recognized quite early that a single insight, however good and useful it might be, would probably not be enough. So we were really looking across a whole series of insights to see whether any combinations of those could help us be much more effective in making innovation practical and very usable in organizations. The first key insight that we chose was the fact that most consistently effective innovation occurs when people with very different skill sets and knowledge work together across organizational boundaries. We're bringing very different perspectives onto the problems and issues of innovation. The second insight, which is in many respects more controversial, is that leaders, people who lead groups, will emerge in all groups who interact together. But these key individuals are very much associated with the specific groups in which they work. So taking one of these emerging leaders who might have worked very well in one innovative team and putting them in charge of another just doesn't work that effectively. The third insight is that people are mainly influenced by the influence of the individuals that they work with regularly. So it's not surprising that very strong influencers are generally found in large work groups. So if you're looking at innovation, and we're looking across large, medium and small work groups, we're likely to find the people that influence the individuals working on teams will vary considerably. So let's look at what these insights mean in practice. If we look at the first insight, Insight 1, it says that the most consistently effective innovation occurs when people with very different skill sets and knowledge work together, often across organizational boundaries. We've put together 2 typical situations where this particular insight can be used very effectively. The first one, if we give an example of an R&D establishment, a very high product development area, if we're looking to integrate people with different skills and knowledge working together very informally across those sort of boundaries, the physical layout may well be something like that shown on the left here. We have rest areas, we have personal work areas, we have teams working in groups all around a central product development area where all the technology and the bits and pieces are. That's been found in many organizations to be a very effective way of integrating people and extending on the basic ideas of chatting over the coffee machine. On the right hand side, we've got a very different approach that spins off of this insight, and is that if you're looking at the communication networks of people working on innovation, what you're looking to do here is to identify, as well as those with the relevant skills and knowledge, you're looking to identify people who have personal networks that spread beyond the team. You're looking, in this particular case, this diagram shows the little small circles are individuals with their initials in, and the areas are color-coded between different parts of the organization. If you look at the new product development area, then you see that the 3 people I've highlighted in red have links to external specialists and to others within the organization that are key in terms of new product development, the marketing department, the finance department in terms of costings and so on. So if you combine these 2 concepts, you very rapidly have a situation where, first of all, you're encouraging, due to this physical location, the individuals to mix together and to exchange ideas, but also by using the approach to informal communication networks, we're getting a situation where we're accessing information from outside the organization to very relevant people to help with that particular aspect of innovation. Similarly, if we look at the practical implications of the second insight, and this is the emergent insight that says that all human groups who interact together, you'll find that some leaders will emerge. But these leaders are very specific to the group. In other words, if you move a very successful natural leader from the first innovation team into another innovation team, you won't necessarily replicate the same level of success. We've used this insight in terms of how we organize teams. So where we're creating virtual teams across departmental boundaries, there may not be any obvious leader. I mean, we can put in a formal leader into that situation, but generally speaking, that's very much the traditional approach, and it's an approach that has a very patchy track record. However, if we basically give one of these innovation teams a scope and a target and a problem to solve, we're looking to improve an innovation in a particular way, and basically leave that team to sort it out themselves. They will very rapidly work out who's best at what and who should be doing what aspects of the work over what time frame within the overall time and budget allocated. And we found this approach to self-management teams, which are used in more than 50 organizations across Europe, works extremely well. It is, in our opinion, it is just about the most common, best way for innovation teams to work. And finally, if we look at the practical implications of Insight 3, this is the insight about people being influenced mainly by influential individuals that they work with regularly. We see we can apply this very effectively to accelerate inter-organizational collaboration. If you take 3 organizations that we wish to have collaborating, within each we'll have obviously a formal structure, which we've shown there as a little green triangle. There'll be a number of influencers, which are shown as grey triangle, and a number of what we call knowledge leaders. These are the people who others go to because of their technical knowledge and expertise. And finally, almost hidden at the back, there's a little white triangle. These are, if you like, are the natural collaborators, the more gregarious people, people who find it easy to make friends across organizational boundaries. If we're looking to accelerate collaboration, effectively day-to-day collaboration across organizations, what we found is that a combination of these different types of individuals within each organization, once we can identify them and get them working together, then we can accelerate that whole process of inter-organizational communication, inter-organizational collaboration much more effectively than simply getting a bunch of managers from each organization and putting them in a room once a month and asking them what they think and how we believe we should collaborate. This is far faster, and it's aimed at day-to-day collaboration. And finally, if we look at the benefits of enhanced innovation of using these 3 insights, we end up with some very interesting conclusions. First of all, that these insights don't just apply to big R&D type areas, they apply to everywhere. They apply to continuous improvement programs, right way down to individual problem solving teams. Also, we don't need to use these insights in isolation. We can use any combination of them together. So, for example, we might be in a situation where, using Insight 1, that innovation occurs best across boundaries, where you've actually changed the physical location in which the team works so that they interact better, and you've chosen the people to a significant degree because of their contacts. Similarly with Insight 2, because leaders emerge, you haven't put in a formal manager to manage this particular innovation team. You've let a leader emerge, a number of leaders emerge, so that these people can operate very much in self-organizing mode within boundaries in terms of budgets, in terms of targets, in terms of what we're really trying to achieve. And finally, in terms of Insight 3, in many situations you're looking for collaboration across either inter-organizational or extra-organizational boundaries, in other words, within the organization or outside. And again here, we're looking at influencers, knowledge leaders, natural collaborators being identified and chosen to work to accelerate that whole process. And so looking back over the experience of peer and informal networks, the huge numbers of hundreds of innovation opportunities we've worked on, I think we're all pretty much agreed. If we were doing it again today, we'd be using these insights in various combinations to accelerate the benefits, and to make the benefits better in terms of quality and in terms of quantity. And our best guess is that you're likely to increase your practical innovation options, problem-solving options, by at least 50% by applying this consistently to innovation in your organization and achieving what we call enhanced innovation.